Mega at 18 seconds. Zexro and Vinny went down to go from 0 points up to 17, Ninja, and that is the beauty of how this is. Anyone can have a plus right back. Mongrel and Mitro are top 5. Serpent hype, Darok's item, Morwin and Tux, Snappy and Red Rush all there. While the Zayt and Sap do have a nice little lead right now, nobody is safe from the rest of the.
Look at the points, Courage. You got 11 points, right? Benji and Mr. Savage, they fell out of the top 10. But look at that. Storm and Epic Whale, 12 points. Daedra, M11Z, 12 points, 12 points, 12 points. All they need is 2 or 3 points, 2 or 3 extra eliminations right there, and boom, they'll move up 6 places. Yep. You know what I mean? So it's still anyone's game, all right? 2 pop-off games, 1 pop-off game, boom, you're already in the top 5.
Remember, if you get 50th place or 11th place, from that whole time in between, you win $100,000 as a duo.
Still.
But if you go from 10th up to 1st, it jumps all the way to 3 million. So everyone, eyes on that top prize. We are just 1/3 of the way through the action today, but I know we've had a lot of fun up here, Ninja. What an absolute blast. Ladies and gentlemen,
here,
can we give a round of applause to Ninja for hopping in for some guest casting? What a great job.
Thank you, man.
Always a pleasure, brother.
Pleasure to be here.
That's going to do it for us for now up here on the casting desk.
Thank you so much, man. What an awesome first 2 set of games from Sap and Zay locking down the lobby to Zexro and Vinny just coming in super clutch. And of course, guys, you've been here. We got to see Ninja. He got to go ahead and commentate some games. So what I want to know from you is, have you guys had a good time? Have you enjoyed it? So let's just let me hear you. You know, that was so-so. Let's pretend I didn't ask. Have you guys been enjoying yourselves? That's what I'm talking about. Obviously, we've got quite a bit more games left to get through, but, you know, if you've been watching for a long time, you know I'm a big fan of everyone that loves Fortnite. It's all about bringing people together. And I like to say Fortnite fam, that's my thing. That's what I do. And, you know, there's actually a lot of people from around the world that have come here to compete, to watch, to be part of all of this. And I thought, what better way to give back to you guys than to teach you how to say Fortnite from all around the world. So in just a moment, we're going to take a look at a video, and I can't wait because this is actually the first time I'm seeing this. A lot of work went into making this happen, so I can't wait for us to watch this together. Let's take a look.
Hello Fortnite fam.
포트나이트 팬 여러분들 안녕하세요.
Real Fortnite, yeah.
Jag har lite story och köra Fortnite.
Jag är fan Fortnite.
What's up, Fortnite fam?
Fortnite 팬 여러분들 안녕하세요.
What's up Fortnite fam?
Hey, John, Fortnite fam. What's up, Fortnite fam?
Was geht, Fortnite-Freunde?
Guanjun, don't go, man.
What's up Fortnite fam?
Yo, what's up, Fortnite fam?
We're trying to floss.
Sorry, I'm texting.
What's up Fortnite fam?
What's up, Fortnite fam?
What's up Fortnite fam?
What's up, Fortnite fam? You got ready for tonight?
What's up, Fortnite fam?
G'day Fortnite fam.
Bonjour, comment ça va les fans de Fortnite?
G'day, Fortnite fam.
Terra Fortnite fam. What up boys?
That was even better than I thought it would be. Just embrace it. We, as a collective, Fortnite fam, get used to it. We're here to stay. Now, guys, you know, there's a few more things I want to take a look at before we hop back into the next game. One of the things to kind of do if you're here or if you're at home, you've been watching, Ninja actually had a pretty dope hoodie, a World Cup kind of exclusive hoodie. Would you like one of those things? Would you like one of the crazy World Cup shirts that we have? You can totally get your hands on one. Head on over, retailroad.com. Get yourself a nice shirt. We've got some hoodies. We've got hats. We've even got the little drone that's the battle bus. It looks amazing. The top balloon is actually the drone, so you've got the bus that's literally flying around. You best believe I'm going to pick one up and mess around with my family. They're not ready for it. But there you go. There's some on your stream. Also, that drift shirt, by far, my favorite piece of merchandise ever. Those of you that really do know me, you know I love Drift. He's easily my favorite character. But just some cool things. If you're looking to get some World Cup exclusive things, go ahead and take a look. Now, for those of you who have also been watching kind of all 10-week qualifiers long, you know we love Golden Boy. And there's actually one thing specifically he was kind of telling people as we were going through interviews. And that was, hey, when we get to New York, you're going to be in my hometown. Let's catch up and get a slice of pizza. Now, I know you're thinking, wait a minute, Zeke, what about, like, everyone else? Why is it just Golden Boy? Well, he's a Golden Boy, and he's selfish, and he wanted the pizza off for himself. Get called out. That's right. Now the world knows. But a few of those players actually took us up on the offer. They went out for some pizza. They had a night on the town. So let's take a look together and check this out.
New York City. We got the Statue of Liberty, Central Park, the Empire State Building, and the first ever Fortnite World Cup Finals. I couldn't be more excited about the greatest Fortnite players from around the world coming to my hometown to duke it out. But before the action started, I took World Cup qualifying players Aiden and Shinky out to show them the Big Apple, starting with PC Gaming Cafe Waypoint.
What's up, boys? Hey. Welcome to Waypoint. Good to see you. Good to meet you.
All right, fellas, let's go and grab a drink. All right. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here in my hometown, New York City. Thoughts on it so far? Shanky, we'll start with you.
Hot, a lot of people.
Yeah. Hot and a lot of people. I'm sorry, but also, welcome to New York. That's kind of the way it is out here. Where are you from in Austria?
Okay, like I'm here first.
And the population,
40K.
I think it was like 40,000. The train that you were in on the way here. Yeah, so now I want to talk about the competition at hand because obviously this is going to be the biggest opportunity, I would imagine, of your lives. You're going to be playing in front of a massive crowd. Is there a way, as a player, that you prepare for that?
I don't think like there's a way to like prepare for it.
Yeah.
So try to like calm down, not get like nervous, not get shaky and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we should be good. Like.
Still crazy having like a live crowd.
Yeah.
I try not to take tournaments like too seriously. If I play relaxed, I feel like I do better. I remember when everyone's like, this guy looks like he's just chilling on his couch at home, the casters, and it was like, I was just relaxed, you know, and I feel like I played better.
Okay, so gentlemen, we're going to be heading off to some different sites around the city. We're going to go to Washington Square Park, so let's go and check it out. All right, so now here we are in Washington Square Park, gentlemen. And I love the fact that we conveniently set this up. I don't know what these pieces would symbolize. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Is it like king or queen? While we have this here, let's talk about competition. You guys are potentially going to be facing off against each other. Have you thought about that now?
I don't know. I just don't want to see the LCs, man. Like.
Oh, you don't want to feel the LT?
I've watched them play a little bit. Him and Stompy, they're very like, I've seen them play aggro before. It's pretty scary. So if you have chemistry where you can play without even talking, you guys know what you're gonna do. That's like, a team like that's gonna win. So.
What you guys are going to experience this weekend, this is the first Fortnite World Cup. You're going to be playing for millions of dollars, potentially. Has that even set with you guys yet?
Even if it's not me, I'm thinking there's going to be millionaires after this tournament. There's going to be millionaires.
Life-changing money.
I try not to be, I'm not like greedy about it or anything. It's really nice to see like people that nobody know about and just blow up off of this.
All right, I'm going to dive more into that, but I think it's time to get a slice of pizza.
Take you out for a good pizza.
We'll get some pizza.
To give everyone pizza. Yeah, I'm going to show up with 2 giant boxes of pizza. Say I won't, Paula. Say I won't.
I kept telling people, hey, I want to get a slice of pizza, you know, all the players, and they all ignored me. you know? So thank you guys so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. Obviously, this has been an incredible journey for you all. You're now on the precipice of one of the biggest events in the history of all competitive gaming.
I'm happy that it was a fair chance for everybody, you know, open qualifiers. You could have no exposure, but if you're good, you get in the tournament. So I'm just really thankful to be here, and I'm going to enjoy my time here.
Yeah, we just try to like make our fans happy. I'm really looking forward to play on the stage in front of 100,000 people.
Do you feel like the fans and how they've been supporting you all on this road to this, do you feel like that adds a little bit to this pressure?
Honestly, it gives just more support for me. I feel more like happy to be here when there's all these people, whether they're rooting for me or other players. Fortnite's grown so much, and I just can't wait to see all like the crowd, and I know it's gonna get bigger and bigger every event. So,
fellas, best of luck at the Fortnite World Cup this weekend. Seriously, nothing but the best for you. But we're in the thick of things here in New York, so I think we gotta get some more. You guys down? All right, let's do it.
New York's got everything, and this weekend, most importantly, it's got the Fortnite World Cup. Now that these two have had their slice, let's see how they handle the competition.
Good guy, Golden Boy. You gotta love him. You can't not. He's just the best, and it's really cool that he got to go out, hang out with Aiden, get some pizza, and, you know, just tour New York. You love to see it. You love to see it. Now, guys, there is actually a dynamic duo that we want to talk to. We actually have Jordan Fisher standing by. He's going to be chatting with Nyx and PF Zin. These guys qualifying back from the Brazilian region. They've got some things to say. So, Jordan, let's go over to you.
Thank you, my friend. I've got Nyx and PF Zin here. Nyx, you have been absolutely dominating in the last few weeks, especially where the solos and the duos are concerned. Being the first Brazilian player to qualify for the World Cup, can you talk to me a little bit about the dynamic that the two of you share as partners?
Nyx, você estava dominando nas últimas semanas, somente para os qualifiers da World Cup. Você pode falar um pouco sobre a dinâmica de vocês?
Eu e o PFzinho costuma jogar bem agressivo e tentar pegar o máximo de eliminações possível.
PFZ and I, we try to play as aggressively as possible and get as many eliminations as we can.
As you should in the name of Battle Royale, right? Now, PF Zin, you seem to balance out the fiery kind of loose cannon nature of Nyx, who is obviously a dominant player, you know, kind of helping him set up for a solid in-game. What's it been like to work with such a young and fiery player like Nyx?
PFzinho, você parece que você consegue contrabalançar o estilo bem incendiante do Nyx. Então, como é que é isso para você fazer esse lado mais balanceado da dupla?
Basicamente eu tenho uma role de suporte, então eu meio que fico nas backlines e ele vai na frente. Quando a gente tem o high ground, por exemplo, ele tem a função de ficar embaixo matando todo mundo e eu controlando o high ground. Basicamente é um lado mais estratégico, enquanto ele é o lado mais agressivo.
Basically, I have more of a support role. Whenever we're in high ground, I'm just more in the background supporting him. Like he has a more aggressive role.
Setting him up.
Yeah.
The fire the loose cannon at the end reminds me of the very W key in a West that I play on all the time. That has really, you know, just got me cranking my 90s on a regular basis. You know about that courage, right? Am I right? Back to you.
Whoa. Jordan, it's back to me. Come on, Courage, he's just found the chicken parmesan. Someone whispered the word and he went running. You hate to see it. Also, big shout out to Nyx and PFZN. I actually chatted with Nyx very quickly. He walked up and was like, "Hi, I'm Nyx." And I'm thinking, this guy knows how to talk. So I talked a bunch of stuff, told him how much I loved him. Turns out he didn't understand any of it. So I had to get a translator and tell him I love him. But that's how things go. Now, of course, guys, I know what you want. You want more games. We have 4 more on deck. So I think for now, we're going to send it back up to Golden Boy and Monster. They're going to get us into these games. So how's CJ Mike Brown? Play us in.
shout out to DJ Mike Realm, spinning the ones and twos here at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Golden Boy alongside Masadife, Boricua Boys back at it again, looking to bring you the fun as we have games 3 and 4 on deck. So far, this has been one of the most exciting events I've ever been to. That game 1 was ridiculous. Game 2 did not disappoint as well, Monster.
No, it didn't. I thought for a second there we're going to see back-to-back performances from Zay and Sap. And I mean, we honestly did. Everyone that was in the top 10 contested, even Miz and Daedra, they were performing. We saw them cut it all the way through. And it's that level of consistency that's going to cut the difference in making it all the way through the top 10 and being a World Cup winner.
What I've loved seeing is that standings page, top 10. International through and through. You got the Japanese players popping off, European players popping off, players from New Zealand. Everyone's putting in every little bit they can. But folks, it's now time for game number 3. The players are all loaded up in the battle bus, and we are about to take off. Let's see who's going to get that much closer to raising the trophy and being your Fortnite World Champions of Duos. Here we go.
Keep it going, Golden Boy, because we are jumping into game 3 as these cameras populate. Your favorite competitors are here. They've made it this far. It's the duo competition. If you were nervous before, hopefully they kicked the bucket over this little break here, and they're back, and they're recuperating.
I know I practically kicked the bucket after Vinny and Zetro won game 2, man. I was feeling it, man. It was nuts. And there they are on your screen. So the drop for the bus here, it's going to be a north to south one going right over that ice biome. It's going to cut pretty much center of the map there. And Vinny and Zextro, I'm very happy that they're performing this well, Monster. This is a duo that had so much success. Even going into the World Cup qualifiers, we all were like, yeah, this is a duo that definitely should make it. This is a duo that, hey, they could even win the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then tragedy struck as Zextro had a few problems with you know, arthritis and different things with his hands. And I'm make sure I'm getting that right. And I'm just bummed out about that. Good to see them here showing up, man. That's huge.
I mean, that's what you expect of our competitive veterans, specifically Zextro, Vinny. They go back to as many of the LAN tournaments that we've seen, as does Zay and Sap. But anyways, look, in here we have UN KVB. He's going to take down Mexi. Is Scram close by? Is he close enough? And this is a battle going down in Snobby Shores. So off the rip here, we have players getting dropped. That's actually going to be our first elimination. Lucky for us to catch that one. But there's shots coming in from the Viking Island right up above. And he just kind of turns a corner, sweeps him up, catches that full elim there. So that's his now. We got a little toe-to-toe action here, Golden Boy.
Very rough situation to be in here, but Zextro now looking to engage in this one. Essentially here's going to go over to his POV now. Kind of get, it's a little wild, man. It's like just getting the bearings all together here. I think for the players as well, that moment where they can just have that conversation. What are they going to do? How are they going to just implement their strategy going into the next game? What is that strategy going to be? Do you mix it up? Do you change your drop spots? These are things that are going to be so important for these players. The time that they can take to just communicate with one another. Now Scram looking to be potentially in a world of hurt here. We heard from Nyx, PF Zin earlier on. This is the Brazilian duo. I don't think they know that. Yes, Scram, they're going to be on the hunt for him, so they know that he's around here. They're just trying to sniff him out.
Yeah, and if you were in the players' lounge, you could feel the tension, specifically when we brought up the Brazilian duos, the Brazilian players. These guys qualified, and they qualified with heavy elimination. Nyx especially being one of our only players to like literally qualify as hard as you can in the, you know, for the weekend.
He was at it each and every week. You constantly saw him at the top every single time. It was so impressive, and also qualified for solo, so we'll be seeing Nyx tomorrow. Then you got Scram. He's got 2 eliminations, but he's just hiding this one out. He hears them making all that ruckus, all the noise around him, and Scram just does not want to give up his position. Perhaps he grabbed his teammate's reboot card. He's maybe looking for that play. But Nyx and PF Zin, they have to have an idea of where he's going to be located here.
Yeah, he does not want to give up his position here. He's actually just hiding in the basement right now, hoping that these guys just kind of blow by like dust in the wind right here. As Nyx and PF Zin, they think it's clear. They think it's all good because they came in and they just wrapped up one of the other players. They actually didn't initiate the battle against Mexi and Scram here. So Scram
might just get lucky and be able to kind of sneak on by as he hears this powerhouse duo, this Brazilian duo, kind of loot their way through and make their way to the zone soon.
And loot they definitely will, because they're getting a lot of resources out of this. Scram over in the distance. He's going to be out of there, but now we're making our way over to the action. It's happening with 7SSK7. Got Spades and Crimmed now looking to push on for this fight here, potentially. Got some shots going off. Crimmed is going to play that overlook position, getting challenged there, and trying to use that advantage from the download, a little bit of that right hand, right? Just see if you can get a peek in there. Does get tagged up, Crimmed. Guy does back away there, does manage to build out. And Spades is going to force him out. There you go. So they're just right now playing for that positioning, and I like the fact that they're using these, the natural high grounds, right? Get to the top, hold it down. Don't really focus too much on just trying to get in their face quite yet. Give yourself that moment of opportunity and really get a lay of the land, and then going for the engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. The best duos will try their best to isolate their opponents, really force them into, very weird situations like this, force the 1v1s, and hopefully get those free shots and then pursue the push here. So again, look at how now they're split up again. So Spades and Crims are doing a great job here pressuring and isolating their opponents right now. And so far, they're definitely dictating the pace of battle here.
Yeah,
that's what they want to continue to do.
They're suffocating them. Plain and simple, right? Not let them get any kind of movement there. Jam side and 7SSK7. They're having a conversation of what the play is. What is the movement going to be? But Crims and Spades are not going to allow them that opportunity to breathe. That's going to be the down there. Crims managing to knock down Jam side. He's looking for 7SSK7 around the corner, and that's going to be the elimination registered. Both players are going to be out of there. And a big win there for Crimson Spades.
What a clean push right there. Crimson Spades have so much to prove here, because when they qualified, they were kind of looked down on, like, wait a second, was it luck? Was it not? No, they're here to show it off and show why they're at the World Cup Finals. But now, hopping back with Miz and Daedra, we saw them have a great game one, came out top 10, and they're still in the running. They're in about the top 10 right now as well, based off of eliminations. Not necessarily picking up too many placement points. They're heavily dependent on just piping up these players at these points of interest, and looks like Lucky Landings is theirs right now.
And they'll have that, but let's see. Miz and Daedra, they linger about it. I love the fact that you go to this hot spot here, so there is going to be a bunch of free items that you're going to be able to pick up on. Also, you're going to have that circle advantage. It's right there, so you don't got to worry too much. You can continue to focus on looting. High ground has been lost, though. Miz needs to be careful. Where's Daedra at? He's going to be right next to him, trying to get these angles.
So they have to stick together. Looking for the sound cues right here. Can they find their opponent? Catch a nice little low ground peek right here. Low ground is definitely underrated. If you can just kind of peek out, catch a big shot, you're almost guaranteed a headshot, which is a big multiplier.
Yeah, players don't really think about that, right? Like you always see Fortnite players go after the high ground. That's the bread and butter for a lot of players that play this game. But you know better than most that the low ground can pay dividends for you if you know how to take advantage of that positioning, and maybe some overzealous players to try and get aggressive on you. You got Gustavo along with Wishy.
I'm actually very interested to see if Gustavo's going to lead this push here, because specifically between these two players right here, this duo, this Brazilian duo, Gustavo doesn't necessarily lead the pushes. It's Wishy. Wishy's the aggressive one here. So he has the ultimate high. He's always looking for the shot. What they're going to do is just a nice standoff.
Yeah, and that's this whole event, right? Players have just been very cautious about what they want to do. They are not trying to get too aggressive in these fights. They know what's on the line here. Millions in prizing is on the line. You do not want to make a bad decision. Be one of those teams that are eliminated out early on. But Gustavo's going to be putting shots down. Focusing this player, forcing him to actually build up. He has no builds to work with as well. 19 HP remaining, and just a hope and a prayer, but unfortunately for him, that was not going to be enough there. Gustavo's out. Wishy isn't going to happen for him either. And Miz, he's feeling it. That's going to be 2 elims for this duo.
You gotta love the snarky little smirk right there on his face when you get those 2 points.
Smirky.
Feels so good.
It's really good. It feels really good. And then Volks and Parpy. And look at this. Parpy actually dealing with this battle. And this other player that actually got the high ground against him was focus firing on Volks. Parpy pushing back here. I wonder, you get split up like this, but Volks and Parpy, they love playing a very aggressive style. They'll get in your face. They'll box you out if they need to.
Yeah, without a doubt, this duo was unmatched when it came down to eliminations in the qualifying rounds. They had the most, actually, and even pulled off a consecutive 5 victories in 8 games to qualify for one of the weekends. Volks and Parpy, another kind of reference to Game 1. They had a great Game 1. We saw them picking up duos, but we haven't seen them necessarily make it through the end game. All they have to do is kind of slow it down here, and that's what they're trying to do, but being split up is terrible.
Also, in the distance, I just want to make note, Wolfie's a very aggro controller player. He's another one. I think that we've seen a fun mixture of players that look to get that safe approach to the game, and then others that just want to take early fights, get some points early on, because maybe they're playing that early game strategy rather than like focusing so hard. Like if you get late game, that's great. You do want to rack up a few eliminations. Look how low the points are that have been thus far in games 1 and 2. Get yourself a few elims and then maybe manage to make it to that top 15, which is very hard given how many players have stayed alive in this game. Games 1 and 2, we were at what, circle 5? Circle 5. I think we were sitting at like 45, 46 players. They're just waiting for movement.
Yeah, and that's where that storm surge kicks in, right? Does damage to players.
That's right. Everything changes here, and Crew does shotgun. It was not going to get the connection necessary. They were able to fly on out of that fight.
He got 6 games here, 2 of which have happened.
That's
they
right.
need big performances. They have to push towards placement and end game. So good on them to kind of back up. And when you have stinkers, there's no defense against it. You get chunked down right through your build. It really is annoying to go against. And speaking about the stinkers here, Epic Whale's under pressure right now, and that's just going to chunk him down. They force him off of the campfire, and we'll see if he returns to it. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, you're only going to get so much time with that campfire. Epic Whale, along with 40-yard Storm. This is a Week 10 qualified duo. Airwalk winning the Pro-Am yesterday 2 times now. This is
qualified for the Fortnite World Cup in their final 7 games. That's intense. They were struggling so close on the cusp every single weekend, so close to qualifying. If it was 5 placements, they were 6 or so like that. It was that close for them. But jumping in here, Crew is going to put some pressure down, and it looks like his teammate has been turned out as well. He's already gone.
Also going to see some eliminations over in the feed as well. You got Crew who just cleaned up on Volks, but Septic took out X-Men. And then I think I saw XXM pop up there on the receiving end of a shot there, so we'll be out of the action as well. Crew by himself has 1 elimination. Going to be looking to get as many points as possible. Now we're going to be sitting with 40 duos left alive. We're going into the next circle here in just a little bit. It's going to start to collapse. Salty Springs is going to be the point of interest for all of our players here. Got a lot of bodies that are going to be lingering outside. Some that are even as far out as Dusty Divot, like on the northern end of it, sticking around there. So maybe trying to get some last-minute loot, perhaps. We'll have to see.
Here is Parpy looking for that peak. Volks and Parpy always tend to stay together, but wait a second, that was a tricky little shockwave right there. He did try to sneak his way into the build. He takes the wall. What are you going to do with it? Who's still looking for the replacement here? He gets it on land, takes the wall. 184! Crew's excitement, you can feel it from here. That was a huge shot. With the new tactical shotgun, the legendary.
That's right. When you're feeling it, man. He went right for the fight. Ambitious. Young player there from Sweden, 15 years of age, man, and he's playing for millions of dollars. So many of these players, they're just young ones. We have a lot of young fans here in the arena today. Maybe next year this could be them. Then you got a few of the veterans, Sexro, Vinny, saw Nate Hill, as well as Mongrel, Mitro, Aiden there in the corner of the screen. And back over to our Game 2 winners, Zextro and Vinny. No eliminations to their name thus far. I mentioned Wolfie's aggro controller player. He went right for Nyx and just take him out on that one.
Definitely hopefully catch some more highlights before the weekend's over. Touch base with him. He's a great kid, definitely enthusiastic about being here at the World Cup, and he feels totally prepared. He's ready to represent. He's one of the few controller players who actually qualified for this weekend. This is a big weekend for a lot of players, obviously, clearly. Here you have Cease and Elevate. They haven't found the rhythm.
They've been a little quiet, man. They won WSOE, a great duo that has had success in the past, but this has just not been their game so far. Got to get something to turn it around. The talent is certainly there. I think I saw someone on the Fortnite competitive Reddit mention, why is no one talking about Cease and Elevate? And I think it's just important to note that in order for us to talk about it, they got to start doing some things. And I think games 1 and 2 has not been their game.
Yeah, and I mean, we were there in the warm-up rounds. A lot of players were not necessarily revealing strategy, but whoa, that's a huge shot on Ziff right there as Mitro sends one flying down the field right there.
Sent him packing. Dear me. All right, so back to the action at hand. We're gonna have 36 duos left in this. Notable names, obviously Mega and Dubs. Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage. A lot of people in the crowd popped for Benji Fishy when he walked out as well as Mr. Savage. For due reason, this is a stupendous duo. The double snipe combination from Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage.
Big shot right there. These double snipes, you gotta be careful. There's no standing still in a box here because you might eat one right there. They line up another.
Right.
Not quite successful that time around, but hey, all damage matters. Storm Surge, you want to be dealing damage. You cannot stay idle. There are no free passes at the World Cup.
Look what happened in game 1, man. The Storm Surge claimed a lot of victims. You have to be engaging in fights. You cannot stay still. There's Swexy and Letwick on the move. Nyrox right behind him. Cooler organization. Benji Fishy's going to be down. Just saw that one off on the side. Mr. Savage now having to deal with a player that had engaged on him. Gonna get built above. He just needs to wait this one out here, but Benji does get cleaned up. And that was going to be Flexi.
And that was such a sneaky ambush right there. He used his shadow bomb, pushed up. Notice Benji was kind of over-peeking, harassing players with that sniper. You cannot hold it right there. He ate a shotgun to the face, and that's why Benji goes down. And I love what Savage did here. He just went for high ground. He had to immediately get out of there and leave his duo behind. So what can Mr. Savage do? One of the best mechanical players here today. What can he do by himself?
It's not going to be easy. Not with a lobby like this. At this point in time, he's really just looking to play the keep away game. Maybe he can pick off a player with that heavy sniper, get an elimination for himself. They only have 1 point right now, and they're nowhere near getting the placement points currently. He's still looking to harass some players. Puts pressure on them. Now you see that happen, half out circle. Only 2 duels are going to be inside of there, so everyone's going to have to start to move over to that east side. It's going to be a struggle for so many players. They're starting to make the moves right now. They want to try and gatekeep, prevent these players from getting inside.
This is a team you want to watch right now during this rotation. Mongrel and Mitro, they are masters at executing, especially when they have mobility like this to cut across the field. They are on the hunt right now, and there's no reason for them to rush. Once they spot out someone, they're gonna pounce. They're gonna jump on that target.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for you to make that mistake. With the nerves at an all-time high here, players are certainly going to make that error in judgment. Saw it happen in scrims when we were looking at players just getting warmed up. So much at stake here, but there's a launch pad. It's going to go out now. Need to be wary of your HP, and then that's it. You're done.
I've seen it countless number of times. People tweet out, you know, you fly across, you get taken out the sky, but it's all about timing. Neither Mitro nor Mongrel was shot once on that rotation, and it was masterfully done right there. And whoa, it looks like they're tracking so beautifully. Catches someone trying to just kind of rotate on by in a shadow bomb, but that was not enough.